Alf, has Geoff Wilson completely lost his mind with this new CardsHQ card shop? Today we will react at some news that he passed through on a recent video on the Sports Card Investor page. Guys, we just had an amazing football weekend. The Lions are the team that I'm really rooting for to get out of the NFC. I'm really happy to see them win their first playoff game in 32 years. Incredible. Huge thanks to today's video sponsors, COMC.com. Are you on the hunt for that next NBA superstar or looking to find some Hall of Fame hockey autographs? Look no further than COMC. Their growing 35 million card inventory is a treasure trove for collectors with a wide range of options to suit every taste and preference. The user-friendly COMC interface allows you to filter and search for cards with ease, ensuring you find exactly what cards you're looking for to add to your collection. COMC, always a good time. They've got grading, they got pre-grading, they got auctions going. It's incredible. So definitely check out my links down below for your COMC journey to begin. Don't forget also to shoot over to SGC, $9 TCG grading and $15 sports card grading. No minimums, no clubs to join, just 15 bucks. 5 to 10 business day turnaround. My buddy Flip and Steve, we're headed to Culture Collision here in about 11, 12 days. He just got an order back from SGC. Quick, fast, consistent, everything you need. And lastly, I did partner with SlabMags for my own black and gold color combination. I'll put, again, that 10% off. One of the only places on the internet for 10% off SlabMags down below. So make sure your best cards are protected. All right, Geoff Wilson broke down kind of how the store is going to be laid out, and I took notes here. I thought it was really interesting.
You take the card and put it in the sleeve.
What they're deciding to do, and I'm curious to see over time how they're going to adapt the layout of the store. 14,000 square feet, absolutely massive. Some are going to think the layout might be good. Some people might think, maybe they should have done it a different way. And I think that's part of the fun, the debate around these subjects. So yeah, he's set to open February 1st, and then they're going to hold the official Culture Collision Trade Night is going to be at the store. That'll be a store preview that will be on the 27th. I will be there for that to report on all the things that are going on. We'll also have Geoff Wilson on Off-Centered Wednesday night for probably about 30 minutes or so to talk about what's going on with the store, Culture Collision, and all that, kind of leading up to the opening. All right, so the video starts off, bang, bang. The front of the store, when you look in, it's actually going to be more Pokemon, TCG type stuff, trading card games at the front of the store, which is interesting. Again, CardsHQ, the name of the store, but this is Sports Card Investor. Now, I know that he's got his own kids that open up Pokemon, so he's not a stranger to TCG, but the decision, instead of having sports cards and kind of all that stuff in the front, he's actually going to have the TCG, Pokemon, the Yu-Gi-Oh!, the Magic the Gathering, all of that stuff set up at the front of this massive behemoth of a store. I saw something maybe like 40 to 50 feet of shelving on one wall showcasing all the new releases for Marvel, for Pokemon, Lorcana, all that sort of thing that you can kind of go and pick off. Keep in mind, he studied what was going on in Japan, Asia.
Entrepreneur.
And going with more of a vertical view of all the stuff. So as opposed to cards laying down in a showcase, probably going to be some of that for sure. But I think there's going to be also a heavy emphasis on cards standing up so that you can actually see them without having to kind of bend over and flip through and find cards that way. There will be a mix of that, I believe. Now, he mentioned Pokemon, Star Wars, Magic. He missed one obvious one, guys. Stranger Things cards. If you're going to have the non-sports and all that, we've got season 5 filming in Atlanta, right down the street from where this store is. Stranger Things, gonna need to be an important part of the store. I'm half joking, but not really. Also mentioned 20-foot island with value bins, dollar boxes. So there will be plenty of space for those value bins, dollar boxes, and there's gonna be more. There's a 20-foot island, but there's also gonna be more areas as well that have cards 50 cents and up. And so the idea is of course, you can cover all price points here. This is kind of taking that Burbank Cards model of, hey, we're not just doing mid-end to high-end. You've got to have a heavy load of the lower end stuff so that people of all ages, all economic backgrounds can participate. I think that's the main point. It's getting away from, hey, it doesn't need to be a 6-figure card for it to be cool. It can be a dollar card of your favorite player, and that's a building block. Hell, you've got cool designs on $1 and $5 cards, sometimes cooler than the 6-figure card. If you appreciate the design of the card, you just want to follow your favorite player and have cards your favorite player, collect different sets, rainbows, whatever it is, gives you the opportunity to do that. Breaker Cabanas. I like how he kind of put a little twist on it. It's not a Breaker Studio, it's not a Breaker Box, but whatever. It's a Breaker Cabana that will have state-of-the-art equipment, is what he said here. There's going to be 6 or 7 of these, I believe that he said. There's going to be multiples, and maybe even a siren system when hits are pulled. I'm thinking, God, this place is going to be completely overstimulating. If you think about, all the action everywhere you look. Because if you're picturing this at the front of the store, you're going to have all the Pokemon stuff, TCG. There's also going to be, I think he said 20 or 30 tables, maybe more, where they're going to have TCG tournaments and areas where you can play the game, the trading card game. And I've seen that in other stores as well. And the tournaments can get pretty lively. I mean, you can have a lot of people that are kind of getting worked up.
It doesn't matter. What do you want to do? Balance my human?
I really don't know what you're next capable of. Is double thing?
Ah! You're kidding!
Judge.
Over, TCG, Pokemon tournaments, Magic tournaments, whatever. So you've got all that action here. You've got the Breaker Cabanas, and then you've also got the live selling cabana, which is a double. It's basically 2 Breaker Cabanas in one, a very large area. But they're glassed off. I'm assuming, of course, these are soundproof glass to where on the inside, you're not hearing all the action and everything because you've got to focus on live streaming, or you're focusing on the break. People can see in. I don't know if it's double-sided. Can they see out? I guess that would be a question. Can the breaker, as they're kind of doing their thing, are they going to be able to see out and distracted by people out front? Or is it going to be kind of like double-sided like you see in the FBI movies or something? So I wonder how that's going to be. Is it going to be kind of like a mirror on the inside? Because they're also going to have, Geoff mentioned, the new Sports Card Investor Studio where they do all of their videos, all of their production is going to be in this store. It's going to be glassed off to where people can see in, but can the people on the inside see out? I feel like that would be kind of cool if you could see out, but at the same time, very distracting as well. What if someone, comes in and is flashing a sign, "You suck," or whatever, I mean, that could be very distracting, but that could also be good content too. And we'll get to that in a couple of minutes. The distracting, the crazy parts of the store could also be really fun content to document. Rows and rows of showcases, 14 football fields is what they said. Focus around a global audience here. 90-inch TVs on the wall with all the sports packages. So they did mention there will be an element of it being a hangout place, kind of a destination for people to come in and hang out, not just, be in and out, be able to come in and hang out for a while. Markets this as a collector first store, wants it to be the hub for card collectors in the Southeast United States. Now, one thing here I thought was interesting, the big attraction, he put the most fun element of the store, the breaker arena, essentially for personal breaks. So if you buy a box within the store, you're able to do a personal break, and you can do it on camera if you'd like to. This is an optional thing where you can open it on camera, and of course they'll broadcast it. So if you get some massive hit or something, then it's on the CardsHQ channel or the SCI channel. Not exactly sure how they're going to have that set up. And then probably also multi-streaming to live selling apps and all sorts of different things. On that front, I'm curious to see how popular, they talk about that being the most fun attraction of the store. I think, frankly, for me personally, there's other parts of the store that are more fun than that, but I'm curious to see kind of how popular that part is. Do people want to do their personal breaks online kind of for everybody to see, or is it more kind of an intimate thing between them? They want to take it home and they want to open it themselves, maybe video it themselves, or not video it at all and just kind of enjoy the box. Because the other part of that is anytime you're going online, there's an element of ridicule if, you don't do well on the box. Look, that's a reality. A lot of people watch breaking on the internet, not because they're necessarily wanting to see someone get a massive hit, because they want to see someone that spent $1,000 on a box and get nothing. It's just a reality. It's kind of like the people that, slow down to watch the car crash type thing. It's the same with this sort of stuff. So I'll be interested to see kind of how popular it is. I think it will be popular. I'm curious to see, are there going to be lines for that? Or is it going to be people kind of pop in as they would like to use it? I want to shift the conversation a little bit here. The thing that's going to be very interesting to me, I'm going to watch this, is kind of the numbers behind the content that's produced out of this store. Because of course you're going to have the usual SCI content that will be coming out of the store, obviously. They're going to have the studio set up, but they're going to have a ton of content, in-store content, that is being broadcast everywhere, globally. And I want to see how many people are watching that at a given time. Because of course, eventually they want to get to a point where they're streaming 24/7, 365 type thing, or maybe not 365, but close to it. And I want to see how popular that is. A lot of people are talking about are people are going to be on at 3 in the morning? How many people are going to be on that stream at 3 a.m.? I'm not even talking about that. I'm more talking about in regular hours. You know, when because they're going to put all of this out there and it's going to be continuous. So I'll be paying very close attention to the growth of those channels. I assume CardsHQ will have its own YouTube channel broadcasting. I assume that they won't put that on the SCI channel because I think it would be too clunky. They already have a lot of content coming out on the SCI channel that's very segmented to where people know exactly what they're going to get. They're going to get the top 5 on this day. They're going to get the cards on the table on this day. And to add in 24-hour live streaming, it just doesn't make sense to me. I assume there will be a CardsHQ or something similar to that that's going to have a whole separate channel, and that's going to be kind of the broadcast channel for the breaks, for the live selling stuff, and then also probably just in store. I don't know if they'll have like little segments where maybe employees are talking about different cards. The possibilities are really endless how you can run that content, and I want to follow it and see how popular it is. That'll be interesting to see because there's not really another store that's doing that. There's not another store that's really broadcasting the day-to-day ins and outs continuously. So that might not be interesting to everybody, but it will be interesting to me. 2 large buying offices. So kind of similar, reminds me a little bit of Burbank, where you kind of go in the back. They got the guy that's out there, he's running comps. They're going to have 2 large buying offices, and I assume Geoff probably saw what's happening at Burbank. Rob Veras is always talking about the importance of liquidity, putting money back into the system. When people break something, they were going to get cards they don't want. You know, there's going to be cards that they decide, 3 months later, I bought this at the store. I don't really want it anymore. I want to trade out of it or I want to sell out of it. It's going to be really important, of course, to be recycling all of that back through. So if someone wants to sell their cards or their boxes or whatever, then they're able to get liquidity to then spend back into the store, whether it be store credit or just cash. To me, really, the ultimate success of this store is going to boil down to how good are the employees working it and running it. You know, the 2 partners, of course, they already wanted to open up a store. I hate to say it though, but the pressure is really on. It's going to really, I think, push these guys to the brink. They're probably going to be growing a lot over time, learning as they go. Look, there's going to be bumps in the road with any business, but it's going to be so absolutely critical that that store is run really, really well. I think security is going to be something they've really got to put a lot of effort and focus on just because of the amount of product and cards and excitement. I think that security is a big thing. And then, of course, it's going to be so important that the employees have passion, excitement. They're entertainers. Look, a lot of these people, whether it be breakers or people that are live selling in the store or even just working in the store, generating excitement and just being excited about what is going on. Look, this is a theme park. This is a card shop theme park, essentially. And it's almost like a card show, a running card show. When you look at all the showcases, there's probably going to be more showcases in the store than there are at some entire card shows. Let's be honest. You got to run this thing almost like a theme park. You can see here, he's going to have multiple streams of income. I mean, between new product sales, live selling, breaking, singles, content, and so on and so on. They'll probably have refreshments. I mean, there's going to be all sorts of different ways to generate income. And I have no doubt that Geoff's going to use that space. Again, I'm interested to see kind of, does the arrangement change over time, or does this kind of initial setup work well for them? But I'm sure they're probably going to see like, okay, what works? What are people most attracted to? This will be kind of the data that comes through as people are rolling through the store. What are people using the most? What's most popular? What's working? What's not working? They'll probably go heavy on the things that are working and phase out things that are not working. But like I said, it's going to boil down to the people. Geoff's done a great job with hires in the past. Look, Teapot, Kelly, they've done a great job and very loyal to that company. And I think that he's got a good eye for employees, but that's going to be absolutely critical. And also, look, you see in this hobby, you know, whether it be manufacturers, whether it be, breakers, whatever the case may be, there's the risk of, you just hire a couple of bad people and it can be rough, especially when you are broadcasting your entire business globally all the time. So those hires are absolutely critical, and I'm sure that they'll be picky with who they're bringing in. All right, guys, let me know. Are you going to be at Culture Collision here in about 10, 11 days? I'm going to be there. I'm excited. It's the first time I'm setting up as a dealer in 30 years, since I was 12 years old, setting up at the flea market. And so I'm really excited to go to Culture Collision and see everybody, meet new people, and then, of course, see the store in person. And I might do a live stream. I might do something so that you can actually kind of see what's going on there. We'll do our best. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you want a live stream from the CardsHQ store when we are there on site for that trade night? Or would you rather just have kind of a dedicated video to it? Let me know how you would like that to go. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.